Hey traders! Trendline are basic yet challenging tools in technical analysis. Get ready to learn how to master Trendline and enhance your trading strategies. In this video, you'll learn what is Trendline, ways to identify and draw Trendline, Trendline pattern, and how to use Trendline to find powerful setup, and lastly, how to avoid market traps when trading Trendline. So with that said, let's start off with what is Trendline. Trendline are key levels that form in a trending market that help us identify potential trade opportunities when the price approaches this level. Now you know what is Trendline. Let's look at how to identify and draw a trendline. Now you must be wondering how to identify and draw a trendline. You can draw a trendline by connecting either the swing high or the swing low of a price movement. What I mean by that is, let's take a look at this. As you can see here, the movement is uptrend, right? When the movement is uptrend, you will connect the higher low and higher high. And then when the price is doing consolidation, it's equal high and equal low. And when the price is downtrend, you'll be connecting the lower low and lower high. Now, let's take a look at a real-life example on how to identify a trend line and to draw a trend line. So as you can see here, we have an uptrend, consolidation phase, and also a downtrend phase. For an uptrend, you'll be connecting a higher high and higher low, okay? And you will place your trend line below the trend. This will act as our support. And what do we do when there's a support? We will look for opportunity to buy. Same goes for the downtrend. So for the downtrend, you would connect the lower low and the lower high, and you would place your trend line above the trend. That will act as our resistance. So when we find a resistance, what do we look for is we look for a sell position. Okay. Now let's take a look at the two types of trendline pattern. First one would be a continuation pattern, and the second one would be a reversal pattern. So now let's take a look at the trendline pattern. The first one would be a continuation pattern, and the second one would be a reversal pattern. For the continuation pattern, you can see here that price respect our trend line and did not break through our trend line. Okay, and for reversal pattern, you can see here that price did not respect our trend line and break through, make a breakout here, pull back and continue to reverse to the downside from bullish to bearish. Okay, so now let's take a look at our continuation pattern. This is a real life of continuation trendline pattern. It's when a price respect the trend line and did not break from our trend line. This, you can see here that price managed to bounce back down every time it hits the trend line. So now let's take a look at a real life example of a reversal trendline pattern. This reversal trendline pattern, you can see on here that price managed to break out from our trend line and switch from bullish to bearish. Okay, so how can we use trendline in trading? For an uptrend, you would use your trendline as a support level. So as long as price stays above this level and respect this trendline, you can find opportunity to buy. While for downtrend, you would use your trendline as a resistance level. So as long as the price remains below this level and respect this trendline, we can find opportunity to sell. So for an uptrend, you would use your trend line as a support level. So as long as price stays above this level and respect this trend line, we can find an opportunity to buy. Now, for a downtrend, you would use your trend line as a resistance level. So as long as the price remains below this level and respect this trend line, we can find an opportunity to sell. Lastly, we're going to look at how to avoid market traps when trading trend lines. Let's go look at an example. The first thing you should be aware of when trading trend line is making sure that there is minimum 3 touch on the trend lines. A trend line connecting only 2 points is considered unreliable. A more reliable trend line has multiple connecting points, indicating a stronger momentum and potential continuation. Basically, a trend line with only 2 points is considered weak and easily broken. So now let's take a look at the example that we have right here. As you can see here, that price is touching twice on the trend line, the first one and the second one, okay? And then price managed to do a breakout over here and push towards the upside. That's the end of our topic for today, traders. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to start trading and learn more about trading, click the link in my bio. Don't forget to subscribe and like. See you guys in the next chapter. Bye traders.